This is our day.
Hey guys, it's Ryu from RyuGaming.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the best B setup that I've been able to find on demo and been able to use in League play so far. Generally speaking, on Dust2, teams are going to either play 3 at A, 1 middle, and 1 B, depending on the confidence level they have in the mid and the B guy, or a lot of times they'll go 2-1-2, where the second guy on Bombsite B ends up rotating that support middle, and mid can rotate either to long A or to watch cat from this area down there. But what I found best to hold B is the 2 guys to start the round. They'll cross mid. One guy will come through doors and throw a flashbang here like this, and the other one's going to come to the platform. Sometimes they can go window, but their primary thing to start the round is to get a smoke in the tunnels.
Laying down smoke.
A lot like that. Now the position of the smoke isn't super important because the tunnelway here is really narrow, so the smoke fills it, and the T's, if they're going to rush, have to push through it. But the location of the flashbang is kind of important. You want it to be towards the exit of the tunnelway, because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll throw a flashbang kind of on this angle, but if you see where this explodes, it's really far back, and if they're coming around the corner here, there's a chance that it'll either go over their head or past them, and either way you're not going to blind them. So 1 flash here, 1 smoke here, and then generally the guy that's going to throw the flashbang is going to play it up close, either at this angle, playing pretty aggressively, or also with this sweet little peek here. You can actually see when they exit the tunnel. So this is one of the most common spots, and then you'll have this headshot line. You know, when they come out, you can position yourself to immediately put a bullet in their head. The second guy is going to either play on the platform. Sometimes they play back here, depending on the weapon they have and how they're feeling. And pretty common to see them just spam like this, just kind of putting bullets through the smoke there. And then as there's calls being made, or as your teammates are making calls elsewhere, you can then re-smoke it, and this guy will rotate back over to middle, and he'll either come through window and play it from up here. A lot of times we've seen people kind of come up here, or even just come back and maybe get in the position for the flashbang here that I can show in a different video. But doing that stops the rush, and it's been a highly effective setup, and I've got a clip here I'll show of Team Ninjas in Pajamas using this exact setup. What they actually do, and what you'll find in that clip, is they actually do the smoke and the flash that I talked about. It's usually Freiburg up close and Forrest in the back. And then they actually wait, and depending on if there's any calls, they'll nade. And you'll see in the clip they're going to nade this corner area here, and then you'll see Forrest rotate away. Okay, so here we are, watching Nip in a demo against Navi. And you'll see that the setup we just went over, and have Freiburg and Forrest. Here comes the flashbang, here comes the smoke. Positioning here, if I go ahead and pause it, you'll see Freiburg's playing the box up close, Forrest is playing here, peeking through the smoke and spamming. See, they're both going to nade. They have a slight variation of that nade a couple times, but they both nade in the general direction of the back of the site. You can see there with the nade trails where that goes back to the right. And then you'll see as the smoke starts to fade, Freiburg gets himself into a slightly better position here and re-smokes it. So in this clip, what we're looking at, Freiburg's playing the peak in the position that I showed earlier. Forrest has already rotated away. And while his teammates are making calls, you'll see with a little bit of patience in a good peak spot like this, how it pays off. You can see there a little bit with the X-ray vision of the GoTV. Freiburg's going to hold this position, and there's actually a guy coming tunnel. And you'll see this guy quietly, making no noise, walk out. So Freiburg knows he's there, headshot, and drops him immediately. So to recap what we've seen so far, best way to play B, 2 people to start the round at B. One's going to flashbang in, one's going to smoke.
Laying down smoke.
And I'll also add the note here that if you're playing it solo, if you don't have a good teammate, or you're playing a pickup game or matchmaking and your teammates are running around doing other things, you can throw both of those. I usually throw the smoke first, but you can do this solo. It's just, it works a lot better with the second person. So assuming you have the second person, he's going to come platform, spam through, see if he can land shots. He can also call if they're pushing the smoke. You'll play up close, either at this angle, you can play this peak that we just saw. When the smoke starts to fade, you can re-smoke it, and at that point your teammate's probably going to have rotated away. And the reason it works, if you didn't get that already, the flashbang here and the smoke prevents them from rushing. If they're going to be bold enough to actually push through the smoke, you know, it obviously fills their screen. It's gray. It's hard for them to see out of. And this guy should be able to at least get one, if not two frags and make the call. With you playing this position here, you're putting them at a slightly different angle. So coming from the perspective of a T, they're going to have to be looking here or here, depending on where your teammate is. Sometimes actually back here. And when they come out, you're going to be able to see it through this crack. And you'll be playing a position here. So they have to either look to the left or they're going to have to come to the right. So it's not truly a crossfire unless you get them into this position here where you're shooting from here and your teammate's down that way. But it is a position that if they try to push, they're going to A, push through the smoke, B, push blind, and push people in superior positions. If they don't rush, which is commonly what this smoke will do, will stall them from rushing. The re-smoke's going to stall again. And at that point, you're going to have to adjust your position based upon the rotates and the calls of your teammates if they're spotting people in other locations. If not, if nobody at long or catwalk or mid has seen anything, you got to be pretty ready, because what they'll probably do is wait for that second smoke to clear, and generally they're going to throw the smoke that's going to come out a little bit further. But the positioning here with this peak and the headshot line, the guy in the back of the site, you're going to stop the beginning of the round, and you should have put yourself in a good chance to win, regardless of how the rest of the round goes. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful. As always, feedback's greatly appreciated. Feel free to post any comments here on the video itself or in the forums. And thanks again.